What's up techies, and this is my review of the Huawei GX8. The GX8 is another low-cost quality smartphone offered by Huawei. It has some familiar characteristics from other models that we've seen from Huawei, but that's not a bad thing at all. This is an unlocked GSM phone that will work with T-Mobile and AT&T-like carriers, and this is definitely a phone worth checking out, especially if you're in a market for something that's not going to break the bank, and still give a nice experience. Let's go over some quick specs so we can get an idea of what this phone comes with. It comes with 2 gigs of memory. Internal storage is 16 gigs, but you can add an SD card up to 128 gigs. It also comes with a 3000 mAh battery that's definitely going to get you through the entire day, plus some just depending on how you use the device. It's got a 5.5-inch screen that's got 1080p resolution. It's got a 13 megapixel camera on the back, and on the front has a 5 megapixel. Another cool factor about this is that it's got dual SIM support. Now that we have the specs out of the way, let's go over what I like about this phone. The build quality is something that we expect from Huawei at this point. They really make nice aluminum bodies, and it looks somewhat similar to what we saw last year with the Honor 5X, and also some other devices that we've seen before, like the Nexus 6P. It's got that aluminum body that just gives this really nice premium look and feel to it. It definitely doesn't feel cheap, and you're definitely getting your money's worth just in that factor alone. Now, some people might not like Emotion UI, but this is actually something that I think that Huawei does okay in, at least. I'm not saying it's the best software skin out there, but it's got some really cool features that I actually appreciate. Some of those features include with the fingerprint scanner, you can actually pull down for your notification shade. You got some different shortcuts like that. You also can draw on the screen to open up different apps. You can program it that way, whether you want to open up your camera, email, messaging, or music. It also has optimizations within the software that deals with the battery life and performance so that we're going to get the best experience possible. Other perks about Emotion UI is that you're going to get a lot of customization with this. You can change the home screen style, change the display, you can change the color temperature to your liking. In the display options, you have the ability to increase the readability under sunlight. That's a really big deal to me because, especially if you're outdoors a lot, you want to be able to read your phone in the daylight. Going back to the fingerprint ID, there's more than just unlocking the device. You got the option to show the notification panel with that gesture swipe down and up, stop the alarm, take a photo or video, and also answer a call. Some more features I want to highlight in the Smart Assistance area is motion control. You can flip to mute, you can shake to rearrange icons, you got screen off gestures with double tap, and also this drawing functions. So as you can see, Emotion UI, even though the skin doesn't necessarily look the best, I think it could be organized a little bit better in the settings, but it does offer some really cool features that you can really make this device work for you. Another thing I like about the GX8 is SD card support. Now this only comes with 16 gigs of internal memory, so that's definitely not enough for me. I'm definitely going to have to throw in an SD card to expand that storage. And again, you can go up to 128 gigs. The camera is actually surprisingly well on this phone. It's got a lot of options, it's got a lot of the features that I like to look for in a phone, and it's pretty easy to operate. All I have to do is swipe left to right to go to different modes. You got good food, beauty, photo, video, and time lapse. If you want some more options, you just click on the top right. You got panorama, HDR, all focus, best photo, watermark, audio note. Then you got your settings to where you can go into resolution sizes, geotags. You can tell your volume button to open up the camera app as a shortcut while it's on the lock screen. This does have optical image stabilization, which is really big. This is a low-cost device that has OIS. Not every phone actually has that these days, so it's really good that Huawei included that with this. You also have a stabilizer just for your normal photos. Another thing I like about this device is that it's a good size. It's a 5.8-inch screen. That's my personal happy medium size. The bezels are not that big on this phone, at least on the sides. There's a little bit of a bezel area on the top and bottom, but it still is able to be able to use as a one-handed device. Now granted, I do have bigger hands, but I think most people would be able to operate this for the most part one-handed if they needed to. And again, this has dual SIM card support. That's really cool. So if you have a personal and a business line, or just 2 different lines that you want to use in one phone, you can do that. That's just a really cool feature to me. I really want to see that kind of feature in just pretty much every phone out there. Now those are some of the things that I do like. Let's go over what I don't like about the phone, and it's really not that much. When you consider the price, which is only about $250, just kind of depending on the model that you get, and I'll leave that link down below in the description if you want to purchase this for yourself. But the performance could be a little bit better. There's times where it feels like it kind of lags a little bit, or just kind of opens up apps a little bit slower than I would prefer. I played a few games on here and there wasn't really too much of an issue at all. I was able to get through the game. The device didn't really overheat or anything like that. It got a little warm at times, but as far as performance goes, it does okay. It just could be a little bit better. Now the last thing I don't like about this is that I would love to use this on my main line, which is Verizon. I do have a Cricket line right now that I'm using for my GSM models, but it would be really cool to use it on Verizon because that's just my preferred network. So yeah guys, this is the Honor GX8. I think it's a really cool device that you should check out. Again, I'll leave a link down below in the description. It's a really low cost device. You get a lot to it for that price point. I'd also like to know what your favorite features are about this phone. Let me know down in the comments. Thanks guys for watching the video. If you've not subscribed yet, please do so you don't miss any more videos like this. Share this on your favorite social networks, and until then, stay techie.